So today we're out at RPR Range here in Texas, and we're going to be picking up where we left off with the ammo testing. Basically, is what I'm going to be doing is re-getting my zeros. So the scope is already sighted in for M118, and I want to go in and kind of get a rough in zero at about 100 yards here, and see where everything's sitting before we move up onto the 730 and 1000. I'm going to take the values the differences between those two and write those numbers down and then make the adjustments on the scope before we make the shots further out. So let's see how it goes. That's going to come up 0.3 into the right 0.3 as well. All right, there's a hit. Just to the right. There's another hit. One came in high. Another hit. So at the end of it all today, how did things fare? Like how well do we do? One thing I like to point out, it is hot out today. It's like it must be close to 100. The barrel's hot, the gun is hot. Everything's just cooking. But things did pretty well. So as kind of predicted, the Black Hills, I got a couple of good hits out at that 1,000, or actually a number of them out at that 1,000 yard mark. It was pretty consistent. Today was actually windy off and on. We had some gusts earlier when I first got here, going up to maybe 12, 14 miles an hour. And it's kind of calmed down a little bit since then. But, this was actually not too bad. It hung in there. One thing I will note about that is it was short stroking a little bit in a couple of rounds. Had an issue where, the bolt wasn't going all the way back to eject the round, and I had a stuck casing in there I had to take it apart and pull that apart. But, so if I did run this stuff, I'd want to, adjust the gas a little bit more. So next up on the block here is the Precision Hunter. Yeah, this stuff ran really well. A couple of things I noticed about it, like right out of the gate, is I was able to walk my scope sighted in for M118, right? So I was a little bit off, especially out down at the 1,000 yard mark. And one thing I noticed is I was able to walk my rounds in like it was consistent. It stayed. If I adjusted, 2-3 mils, what have you, it hung in there and it stayed nice and consistent. I did have some wind gusts and stuff like that, so I'd fire around and then, it'd be a little bit further off than what I was expecting, but the follow-up shot was where I was looking for. The M118, this stuff, this stuff runs really well, as usual. I guess when it comes down to it, so this stuff here, like I was saying kind of in the first video, it's a factory load. You will get a few, like out of, say like 40 rounds, you'll probably get maybe one, maybe two that are, they're just maybe not loaded as hot. They come in a little bit low and to the right, usually, or low and to the left. But other than that, I mean, it stays nice and consistent. It runs really well in the rifle. So definitely not a bad round on that for sure. Next up with the Hornady Mesh. Now this stuff was interesting. So at first I was like, nope, it's not, we were at 730 yards. I was trying to, group them in there, and it was just kind of all over the place. And then we hit, that was within the first probably 10 rounds. And then we hit a nice stride. I got the scope dialed in to where it should be, and we got consistent hits on the steel at 730. I didn't connect with the match out at 1,000. I kind of ran low on ammo. Was using most of it at the 730 mark, but it didn't short stroke or anything like that. It ran well. It wasn't too bad. I would say You know, I'd probably choose one of these over this. Not that this is bad ammo. I think it's actually really good. It's just coming out of here, you know, maybe there's a better round out there for it. But the reason why I bought that, or I brought this with, was because I didn't group very well at my 100-yard velocity test, the last video. I thought, well, maybe it's me, maybe I'm pulling or something like that. Let's give it another shot. I mean, it ran pretty good, like pretty good, but I think that this stuff could definitely, you know, it probably runs better in another rifle. Let's just say that. I would say that the Precision Hunter and the Winchester M118 probably run neck and neck out of this. Both of them are, you know, are pretty consistent. And really, you know, so like I was saying earlier in the day, you know, we have wind gusts and stuff like that. And so, you know, out of 20 rounds or so, like how consistent are these things coming in? And am I able to make meaningful adjustments in my scope to actually get some hits? On the Black Hills, for sure, we saw that, you know, once I dialed that in, same at 730, of course, it was on pretty good. And these two here, you know, they come in sort of neck and neck. So this is a 175 grain bulltail hollow point, and this is the 178 grain with their, it's got their basically hunting ballistic tip on there. And, but it's kind of like a match profile bullet. And yeah, I was really impressed. This is definitely something I would like to look into more for sure. And these two here, the Precision Hunter and the M118, is pretty much what I'm going to be, you know, I'd like to come back out again where I'm not doing a wide range of tests and then just kind of redial things. And starting actually at closer range, right? We'll start at 100 and move out. They've got another range down the way here with a bunch of steel out to like 630. It'd be cool to like just kind of take it all the way out to there first and then bring it up here and then kind of go on, you know, with more focusing on just these two rounds here. I don't know, in my opinion, I like the Precision Hunter. I like the M118. You know, not only that, it's 308, right? There's a ton of other ammunition out there that we could test. But so far, you know, I think out of the lot, of course, this performed amazing, but the price is pretty expensive. This is basically double. So one box for two of these boxes. You know, you got to kind of take that into account. So, yeah, it was a good run though. I learned a lot today.